start my presentation, let me give the background of the living will. Friends, almost many of us may not be aware of the exact terminology of living will also. Leave aside the in-depth study of the living will. There are hardly any lectures or seminars on this topic, neither there are articles or anything. So it was a blessing in disguise for me because I had to study. Let me tell you, I had to study not less than 300 pages of various judgments as well as the books. And I had done my best to bring before you whatever maximum possible within the period of these 50 to 60 minutes. What is the background? See, right to life and liberty is a fundamental right enshrined in Article 21 of the Constitution. However, right to die is not equal to right to life. The issue arises if a person is in such a state of mind, say for example coma, then in that case he is totally lifeless even though he is live. He is not aware about his surroundings. This situation may be painful also or may not be painful also because we don't know what exactly is the position. In these circumstances, one society named Common Causes Society, Registered Society under Registration Act, approached Supreme Court. Before that, we had one or two cases. Sandbag case, that nurse came hospital, that nurse who was in coma for many years. That was the precedent before the Supreme Court. But in common causes cases, the Supreme Court has in very much detail dealt with the subject because there is no law enacted by the Parliament so far with regards to the this particular topic, living will. As of today, the judgment of the Supreme Court is the only law applicable. We may look forward to legislation on that topic also, which I will come to know while I deliver my lecture. The first slide, friends, is these are the topics I have covered in this presentation. Legal basis for living will. That means what is the legality of the living will. Then how the living will is to be executed. How it is to be implemented. Role of medical professional and healthcare workers, because their ethics and moral is to keep the people alive and not to kill the people, and therefore it's a fine balancing between the right to die, but for these people right to keep the people alive. Safeguards in living, because see, living will implementation, removing the system is a very dangerous thing. We don't know how the people can misuse this situation, and therefore the Supreme Court has inbuilt guidelines which we call safeguards. Then there is an element of judicial review. If at all after everything is fine, even then either the medical board or the family or the executor who has been named has some dispute or differences, then they can approach the High Court, and the High Court is under obligation legally to immediately hear it without a loss of a day also. So that is called the judicial review, to put at rest the disputes or differences whatever may be, and to authorize the appropriate person to implement the will. Organ donation in the living will. See, living will is a concept we say I want to die in particular circumstances. If this happens to me, then remove my supporting system, say ventilator or whatever are there. At the same time, the person has also the right to donate his organs under these circumstances. So that is also I have covered in one slide. Then in the last effective slide, I have compared normal will and the living will. There is a huge difference between the two. In one sentence, living will is to be executed during the lifetime of the person, whereas the normal will comes in effect only and only after death of a person. That differentiation I have taken care of in my presentation. Then the last one is thanks from me. Friends, the next slide will be, and this particular slide, which gives 5 definitions. Say, for example, I deal with these 5 definitions, and along with that, I keep on giving comment that today's living will lecture will be more than enough, because these 5 definitions are very fundamental to the today's topics. The first is passive euthanasia, and second is active euthanasia. Now, what is passive and active? The name suggests that passive, that means you don't do anything on its own. Say, for example, don't give the lethal injection, which is allowed in certain European countries and USA or sometime. So, passive euthanasia is the act of withholding or withdrawing medical treatment that is necessary to keep terminally ill patient alive, allowing them to die naturally. If you remove the system, the person will die. And that is called passive. It is not active. Nobody is giving injection, nobody is giving medicine, simply removing the system. Then what is active euthanasia? Deliberately taking specific steps to cause patient's death through actions such as administering a lethal substance. Now, when you administer a lethal injection or whatever medication, then it is called the active euthanasia. This is illegal, not allowed in India. In some European countries and some international forum it is allowed, but in India it is not allowed. Passive euthanasia has been allowed. In Sandbach case, it was one occasion when it was allowed specially for her case. But now, with the Supreme Court judgment on 9th March 2018 in case of Common Causes versus Union of India, passive euthanasia has been legalized with other safeguards and all these things which I have referred to in the first way. Then the living will concept, a written document in which an individual specifies what action should be taken for his health if they are not longer able to make decision due to illness or incapacity. When a person is incapacitated at a particular state, whatever reason, say he is in coma, then in that case he is not able to understand what is going on around him, he is not able to give any instruction to the doctor. Even the families are also, who are emotionally attached, are not in a position to take the decision. Under the circumstances, the living will, the other name of living will is Advanced Medical Directive, AMD. Advanced Medical Directive is something which is to be implemented or executed. So, living will is nothing but a document which is a legal document, mind where. Friends, normal will is not a legal document, it is testamentary document. Whereas living will is a legal document. Now, what is Advanced Directive? We may name it also Advanced Medical Directive also. Similar to a living will, it allows individual to provide directives in advance about the medical treatment they wish to or do not wish to receive in future scenario. The person can write in his living will that under these circumstances, if these circumstances, this should happen. In this remove the medical equipment from me, or whatever, stop my medication, supporting medication. So that instruction are called the Advanced Medical Directive, which is very important part of living will. It, in fact, the another name of living will is AMD. Another name of living will is AMD. Persistent vegetative state, PVS. We are aware, but this is a legal definition. A condition of patient with severe brain damage in whom coma has progressed to a state of wakefulness Medically, it is called brain is under the wakefulness, however, without detectable awareness. This is the exact definition of PVS, persistent vegetative state. I happen to, I was working with some consultant in the year 72 for 2-3 years, and I continued to have family relation with them. He was suffering this kind of situation. So he was just prior to the last stage. So whenever somebody goes there, he may or may not recognize. If you see his face, you will feel that he is laughing or crying. But in reality, his recognition is, say for example, when I went there, 50% smiling and 50% seriousness. So this is the state of, means you are not aware of the, you are wakeful, but without detectable awareness. Friend, these are the important definitions. All these definitions are going to be part of the subsequent presentation. Yeah, now it's a very important thing, the procedural aspect of making a living will. We are aware in the normal will, the requirement is 2 witnesses, no stamp duty, no registration is required for living will. The only precondition is there should be 2 witnesses who should be present at the time of signature by the person who is making the will. He is also appointing someone who is called executor or executrix for implementing the will after his death. However, in case of living will, because there are equal chances of manipulation, lot of things are possible. We cannot even imagine under, it's a human mentality sometimes. So therefore, enough guidelines are issued. I will now step by step tell you what exactly is required and which procedure is to be followed for executing a living will. Friend, executing a normal will is a different term. Execution comes only after death of the testator, which is executed by the person nominated by testator. Whereas here the execution means making the will is the execution. So there is also a difference between the two. Voluntary creation. It is very important to maintain autonomy in execution of a will. What is this autonomy? Autonomy means the person who is writing the will should be at liberty without any coercion, out of his free will, his own thinking that he would like to write the will in this manner. So it is the autonomy is to be maintained. It is essential that decision to create a living will comes directly from person it concerns, ensuring it reflects their genuine wishes without external pressure. Voluntary creation means the issue of voluntary includes in itself that there should not be outside pressure, there should not be any coercion of any person, and he should be capable of taking that decision at that point of time when he wants to write the will. If the person is not in a position to understand what is he doing, then that will not be out of his free will, and therefore that will not be the correct living will. Then legal capacity. It means individual must be legally capable of making the decision. In most of the circumstances, we heard the terminology competent to contract under the Contract Act. This is a normal terminology which is the lawyer will understand this. The person who is an adult is capable of taking decision. He is not lunatic or he doesn't have the attacks of lunatism. Here the question is, he should be capable of making decision at the time when he wants to write a living will, which typically means they must be a legal adult age. Legal adult age, friends, it's a very, means we cannot go very much detail about the legal issues, but legal adult age, all the 3 words, I am not talking adult age, it is legal adult age. Mentally competent at the time of documents creation. When the living will is being created, the person should be of legal adult age and he should be competent to take that decision. The third is witness requirement. In the normal will, friends, witnesses are by and large the people who are interested in the object of the will. Whereas here, if the person is not interested in anything about that person, then he will be the better witness. Totally unknown person. The only condition is when he signed this will, I was present, there was no pressure, nothing, I have found him medically fit. He had discussed with me while filing that what is his purpose, that kind of the person who is multiple witnesses add credibility to the document. There will be two witnesses. So chances of manipulations to that extent will be reduced. Witnesses must not be beneficiaries. If on the demise of a person, somebody is going to be beneficiary, then that witness will not be okay for living will. Have any vested interest in the death of the declarant. The person who is witnessing should not have any vested interest in the death of that person. Safeguarding against potential conflict of interest. That means it will amount to potential conflict of interest and therefore such person should not be witnessing the living will. Then the next is notarization. Notarization by a judicial magistrate not only adds a layer of legal verification, but also significantly aids in preventing future disputes regarding authenticity of the living will. Now, this particular aspect was very much in detail discussed by Supreme Court. There are a few words or sentences. The courts have noted down that living will should be notarized, witness first, notarized, and additionally compulsory requirement, judicial magistrate of that area should endorse that. Means it is a kind of affidavit which is not done by the notary, affidavit before the judicial magistrate. So the judiciary steps into the entire process, and when the judiciary steps in, the credibility, is a bit higher compared to the other forums. So notarization that way is to be done. You can go for notary also, but only notary is not enough. You have to have a judicial magistrate endorsement, 2 witnesses. As far as the registration is concerned, the point, while not mandatory, here also registration is not mandatory. Registering the living will with an appropriate government body or registry can facilitate smoother execution. Let me elaborate. When the times comes for execution of the living will, if the will, apart from judicial magistrate's endorsement, apart from 2 witnesses, if it is registered in whatever forum, then that adds to credibility of the living will, and therefore executor is to that extent facilitated in taking the appropriate decision without any hissage or any doubt. When necessary, as it is more easily accessible to healthcare providers and court. See, when the document is registered, it becomes a public document. And public document is independently available to doctors, health workers and all these people. So it becomes a public document, and therefore registration adds to the credibility of the living will. The more important part is regular update. Now living will is such a thing that there is a equal chance of the person's mind changing And therefore, it is very much necessary that when the times comes for execution, it is the latest desire or latest position. So even the family should also know, as well as the medical and paramedical personnel should also be aware of latest position, and latest position is possible only when there is regular update. If the will is registered, the subsequent changes should also be registered. Otherwise, there will be conflict of dispute and differences, and one has to approach the judiciary for decision. So friend, it is very important to keep the living will up to date to reflect any changes in the person's health condition. Now, a person is in hospital, the executor himself cannot decide about giving instructions as per the will. He has to take the advice of the medical staff, doctor. Here also an element subsequently will come. One doctor cannot decide. A board has to be constituted. And who will part of the board? That is also part of the judgment. For our purpose, we say that the medical board, it is called a medical board, has to take the call. It has to confirm the medical condition, authenticity of the will, and then only the process can go further for execution. Friend, this comprehensive approach ensures the living will is executed correctly, fulfill its role in respecting the individual's healthcare preferences when they are no longer able to communicate those wishes themselves. The next slide, please. The next slide is implementation stage. Medical validation, notification, judicial review, execution of directives, ongoing monitoring, and documents and record keeping. These are the important aspects of implementation. Because implementation is the last stage, and that is a very important stage. वो नॉर्मल टर्मिनोलॉजी है ना हमारा क्रिमिनल लॉ में, दैट 100 क्रिमिनल छूटेंगे तो चलेगा, लेकिन इनोसेंट को प्रॉब्लम नहीं होना चाहिए. दैट इज द कॉन्सेप्ट जो है. हियर ऑल्सो implementation being the last stage, one must assure and reassure that the will is genuine and the stage has come by advice of the medical board that yes, it's a time to execute and then proceed. छोटी छोटी हॉस्पिटल के अंदर मैंने देखा है कि डॉक्टर बोले कि हम नहीं निकालेंगे, आप सिस्टम निकाल दो. Now this is actually a murder. There is no authentication. फैमिली बोले कि हम नहीं निकालेंगे बिकॉज हमारा तो सेंटिमेंटल अटैचमेंट है. इवन लिविंग विल जेन्युइन होने के बावजूद भी जब मेडिकल प्रोफेशनल सपोर्ट सिस्टम निकालेगा या तो मेडिकेशन बंद करेगा एज पर द विल, देन ऑल्सो द फैमिली इज नॉट कंफर्टेबल. इवन दो दे एग्री विद दिस, दे आर नॉट कंफर्टेबल. मैं और अरविंद भाई गए थे कच्छ में अबाउट 5-6 years बैक. हमारा एक असाइनमेंट था रोटरी का कि उधर का जो चेक डैम का सिस्टम है ना, आप जरा स्टडी करके बताओ, बिकॉज वी आर इन द प्रोसेस ऑफ बिल्डिंग द चेक डैम्स इन पालघर एरिया. उधर गए तो हम लोग बोत्तर जिनालय में ठहरे थे. मांडवी के रास्ते पे एक हॉस्पिटल थी. उधर जो पेशेंट थे ना, इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट कि आप वो पेशेंट को देख सकते हैं. वो पेशेंट को इधर रखा जाता था, टर्मिनल डिजीज, देयर इज 0 क्वेश्चन ऑफ सर्वाइवल. लेकिन घर पे नहीं रखते थे क्योंकि घर पे रखना भी फैमिली अटैच होने के बावजूद भी इट इज इम्पॉसिबल. इसलिए ओनली 50 रुपीज फीस लेके वो हॉस्पिटल में. तो हम तो गए, 2-3 मरले का हॉस्पिटल था, देखा, लेकिन इट वॉज वेरी डिफिकल्ट कि टर्मिनल डिजीज क्या होते हैं, यू नो. सो ये सिचुएशन जब आती है तब फैमिली को प्रॉब्लम होता है, फिर भी फैमिली इमोशनली अटैच है। तो मेडिकल वैलिडेशन, एन इंडिपेंडेंट मेडिकल बॉडी इज क्रूशियल। इट मस्ट कंफर्म दैट द पेशेंट मेडिकल कंडीशन मैचेज द स्पेसिफिक क्राइटेरिया आउटलाइन। लिविंग विल में जो सिचुएशन लिखी है कि ये पोजीशन आएगा तो ये करो, ये दोनों चीज मेडिकल बोर्ड कंफर्म करेगी, उसके बाद ही डिसाइड होता है। मेडिकल बोर्ड हैज टू से यस, ये विल में लिखा है, वो सिचुएशन अभी आया है, देन गो फॉर इंप्लीमेंटेशन। Then the doctor will not be accused of murder because medical body is certifying. This step is vital to ensure that implementation is medically justified. This is a very important thing. Next is notification. Transparency and communication, highlighting how informing all relevant parties, family members, healthcare providers, ensure that everyone involved understands the patient's wishes and legal directives stated in the living will. लिविंग विल को ध्यान में रख के मेडिकल बोर्ड का अल्टीमेट डिसीजन देखने के बाद टोटालिटी में देखेंगे तो ये सब चीज़ होने के बावजूद भी ऐसा नहीं है कि एग्जीक्यूटर विल इमीडिएटली रिमूव इट। इट हैज़ टू कीप दी फैमिली इन्फॉर्म अबाउट दिस थिंग, रिस्पेक्टिव डॉक्टर्स इन्फॉर्म अबाउट दिस थिंग। जो भी डॉक्टर की ट्रीटमेंट में है वो डॉक्टर वो टाइम मेडिकल बोर्ड में नहीं है तो भी ही हैज़ टू बी अपडेटेड एंड ही हैज़ टू बी टोल्ड दैट दिस इज व्हाट सिचुएशन हैज कम। इफ ही हैज एनी डाउट, इवन फैमिली, then they can there be dispute and then the judiciary will come in picture. So it is very important that all are notified, duly notified. When the board says that yes, the fit case is this, then judicial review, the next step, as I was telling. There can be potential disputes or challenges regarding the living wills, validity or interpretation. Interpretation, friends, is a very important thing. In my professional practice, I have come across many will जिसमें इस तरह का लैंग्वेज है, या तो एक ही चीज दो जगह पे अलग अलग तरीके से लिखा गया है, सो इट इज एम्बिग्यस एंड देयरफॉर जब आप ड्राफ्टिंग होगा लिविंग विल तब मेक श्योर दैट इट इज नॉट एम्बिग्यस, इट इज क्लियर, नीट एंड क्लीन, नो रिपीटिशन. So there can be potential disputes or challenges regarding the living will's validity as well as interpretation. Both are equally important. In such cases, judicial involvement becomes necessary to resolve these issues authoritatively. The judicial authority has got the adjudicating power. It interprets. दो व्यक्ति का, फैमिली का, डॉक्टर का, बोर्ड का अलग अलग व्यू है, उसका बैलेंसिंग जुडिशरी विल डू एंड जुडिशरी विल अल्टीमेटली से कि whose view and what view is correct, ensuring that the process adheres to legal standards and respect the patient's wishes. Ultimate aim is respect the patient wishes. ऐसा ना हो जाए कि लिविंग विल बनाने के बावजूद भी द पेशेंट इज वेरी क्लियर, फिर भी गलत तरीके से ऑब्जेक्शन लेके उसका डेथ को प्रोलॉन्ग करना may not be desired because it is against the wishes. Living will लिखने का मतलब ही नहीं रहेगा. Then execution directives. Next stage. Once all the conditions are met, all the condition means reliability, authenticity, medical board, judiciary intervention, all होने के बाद validations are in place. The directive specified in the living will must be executed without delay. थोड़ा भी डिले नहीं होना चाहिए. The moment all the conditions in the living will are satisfied with due authentication by all the authorities, it should be executed immediately. There should not be delay. आज के दिन रहने दो, सुबह में 5 बजे ये मुहूर्त अच्छा नहीं, ये मुहूर्त अच्छा, ये is nothing of the sort. You know, it has to be at the earliest point of time when the conditions are satisfied, it should be executed. This includes any specific medical treatment to be withheld or withdrawn. Withheld and withdrawal. Withheld, that means जैसे सपोर्ट सिस्टम निकाल दो। विड्रॉन दैट मीन्स कोई मेडिकल जो मेडिसिन देते हैं वो स्टॉप करो, विथहेल्ड करो या तो विड्रॉन करो सिस्टम। एज वेल एज एनी अदर एंड ऑफ लाइफ केयर मेजर्स। डॉक्टर को लेटेस्ट जो पोजीशन है, डॉक्टर को पता चलता है लाइफ प्रोलॉन्ग अननेसेसरी नहीं करना है। यू हैव टू ब्रिंग द पर्सन टू डेथ नेचुरली, नो आर्टिफिशियल इंटरफियरेंस। देन ongoing monitoring. Continuous monitoring of patient's condition cannot be done away with. Mean there has to be continuous monitoring. बोर्ड आके चेक करके गया और या तो डॉक्टर चेक करके गया, बाद में लगा कि नहीं थोड़ा अच्छा हो रहा है, ही इज रिस्पॉन्डिंग, ऐसा कुछ नहीं। यू हैव टू मॉनिटर इट फॉर अ जस्टिफिकेशन दैट यस इट इज टाइम टू इम्प्लीमेंट। This ongoing assessment ensures that the action taken remain appropriate as situation evolves and that they continue to align with the directives specified in the living will. Alignment of the directive with the ground realities has to be there perfectly. The last is documentation and record keeping. What ultimately what is to be done after implementation, that is also to be part of the entire documentation process. इम्प्लीमेंटेशन हो गया तो मैटर एंड हो गया ऐसा नहीं है। देयर कैन अराइज द डिस्प्यूट सब्सिक्वेंटली ऑल्सो, और डॉक्टर्स में भी हेल्थ रिस्पॉन्सिबल, बोर्ड में भी हेल्थ रिस्पॉन्सिबल, जुडिशियल मजिस्ट्रेट को पैसा देकर कुछ किया है, ऑल दिस इश्यूज कैन क्रॉप अप। सो वी हैव टू बी, देयर हैज टू बी ए record keeping. Now what is record keeping? Documenting every step of process is critically important. Every stage जितना भी हमने डिस्कस किया वो सभी स्टेप का रिकॉर्डिंग होना है। लाइक रोजनामा जो होता है ना प्रोसीडिंग कोर्ट में, मिनट्स होते हैं मीटिंग के, इस तरह से रिकॉर्डिंग होना चाहिए। डिटेल रिकॉर्ड इंश्योर दैट देयर इज अ क्लियर एंड ट्रेसेबल अकाउंट ऑफ डिसीजन। ट्रेसेबल अकाउंट ऑफ डिसीजन, एवरी वर्ड इज सिग्निफिकेंट। डिसीजन लिया गया था उसका मूल क्या है, उधर तक पॉसिबल है जानने का, रिकॉर्ड के ऊपर से जानना चाहिए, ओरल नहीं। ये किया था, नथिंग ऑफ द सॉर्ट। व्हाट द रिकॉर्ड स्पीक्स, व्हाट इज द सिग्नेचर ऑफ द रिलेटिव, सिग्नेचर ऑफ द डॉक्टर, सिग्नेचर ऑफ मेडिकल बोर्ड, एवरीथिंग। ट्रेसेबल अकाउंट ऑफ डिसीजंस एंड एक्शन टेकन which is crucial for legal protection and for maintaining integrity of the process. The entire process has to be, it has to be its own integrity. This particular slide is a detailed framework provided a comprehensive overview for us to understand, underlying the procedural and ethical complexities involved in implementing the living will effectively and respectfully, friends. We'll go to next slide now. It is medical professional and healthcare workers, उनके बारे में। Friends, let me tell you, जैसे मेडिकल प्रोफेशनल है ना, ऐसा एडवोकेट के लिए भी एक है, लेकिन इट इज नॉट पार्ट ऑफ आवर लिविंग विल कॉन्सेप्ट। इसलिए अदरवाइज देयर इज अ कैसे सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने उसको इंटरप्रेट किया था, कौन से प्रिंसिपल फॉलो किए हैं, देयर आर लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स, बट इट इज नॉट पार्ट ऑफ आवर प्रेजेंटेशन टुडे। वी आर सिंपली कंसर्न विद डायरेक्ट इन्वॉल्वमेंट ऑफ द मेडिकल प्रोफेशन, फैमिली एंड द जुडिशियरी। This comprehensive understanding and involvement of healthcare workers are critical in respecting and implementing the wishes outlined in living will, thereby ensuring that patients receive respectful and dignified care at the end of their life as desired by him in his living will. The central concept is that first is awareness and education. We cannot belittle importance of healthcare professionals being well informed about living will. The healthcare profession, doctors have to be well informed about the living will. Continuous education on the legal statuses, updates and ethical implication of living will is crucial for effective implementation. This ensures that healthcare workers can guide patient accurately in creating and executing these documents. It's a very important because ethically and morally the doctors are there for survival of the patient under any circumstance. Patient को क्या problem है, that is not look out of the doctor. Normal course में. But under the living will, he has to be kept updated and he has to balance between the wishes of the person and his ethics and professional decision. Identification and documentation, friends. Next topic. Systematic identification of patients who have living wills and proper documentation of their preferences in the patient's medical record. This ensures that patients' wishes are clear and accessible, which is essential for compliance during critical medical decision. This is all part of the, इस स्लाइड आगे चला गया. Yeah, this one. Then ethical decision making. There can be numerous ethical complexities involved in end of life care. This terminology, end of life care, doctors are more aware. So we call it palliative treatment or something like this, correct? So these are all medical terminologies. The end of life care is also in its own a medical science, and the doctors are well aware of this situation. Medical and healthcare workers often face challenging decisions that balance their duty to preserve life with respecting the patient's autonomy and directive laid down in their living will. Next is the communication. Clear and compassionate communication with patient and their families regarding the provisions of living will are pivotal to the entire process. This is a fundamental thing. Everything moves around that. This also includes maintaining open lines of communication within the interdisciplinary team. Interdisciplinary team. In the hospital, many big hospitals, there are departments. And some team come at a point of time, another team come at a point of time. So there should be complete communication between the interdisciplinary teams to ensure that all caregivers are aligned with the patient's end of life plan. Living will में जो प्लान लिखा है उसके साथ सभी इंटरडिसिप्लिनरी टीम को अलाइन होना है. एक भी टीम का कोई भी पर्सन को कोई डाउट नहीं होना चाहिए अबाउट द इम्प्लीमेंटेशन. Compliance and advocacy. We must give importance and understand dual role of healthcare workers. See, dual role क्या है? In complying with living will and advocating for patient wishes. On the one hand, the doctors are supposed to keep the person alive. On the other hand, there is a living will that ये system withdraw करो. It is vital that healthcare workers uphold the legal and ethical requirements of living will, especially when there may be pressure from various sides to deviate from patient's directive. कभी भी प्रेशर आ सकता है, for whatever reason आ सकता है. ये प्रेशर को विस्टैंड करना मेडिकल प्रोफेशनल का काम रहेगा. उनको जो भी एक बार बोर्ड ने डिसाइड किया कि ये सही है, दिस अ राइट टाइम, तो दे हैव टू एडर टू डेट. बाद में फैमिली वाले आके धमाल करेंगे, रोएंगे, सब ये नथिंग ऑफ द सॉर्ट. ही हैज टू एडर टू द विशेस ऑफ द पर्सन. Once it is finally decided, support and counseling. This is a very, very important aspect. This is where it is not easy for every doctor because convincing power, sentimental के साथ में बात करना, these are all not very easy at a particular point of time. We know well the emotional toll associated with end of life care. Healthcare workers should provide not only medical care but also emotional support to the family and counseling to both the patients and their families to help them navigate the complexities and emotional challenges of end of the life decision. हम किसी को लाइफ नहीं दे सकते हैं, तो किसी का लाइफ लेने का हमें अधिकार नहीं है, unless it is 100% sure as per the living will. With the next slide, friends. It is safeguard in the implementation. The safeguard, as I told you, are vital to the entire process of living will and its implementation. These safeguards are designed to protect the rights and wishes of the individual who create living wills, ensuring that these documents serve their intended purpose without misuse or misunderstanding. पूरी प्रोसेस में किधर भी कोई भी सिस्टम का मिसयूज नहीं होना चाहिए, कोई भी चीज का मिसअंडरस्टैंडिंग नहीं होना चाहिए. They play a critical role in maintaining the integrity of the process and upholding the dignity of patient at the end of their life. The first topic is medical board review. Role of medical board is fundamental, which is crucial for verifying what is to be verified, verifying medical condition of patient as specified in the living will. मतलब कि लिविंग विल में ये कंडीशन डिस्क्राइब किया कि ये कंडीशन आता है तो ये करो, तो वो जो कंडीशन आता है दैट इज टू बी डिसाइडेड बाय द बोर्ड कि विल के हिसाब से वो कंडीशन आया है कि नहीं, whether that stage has come or not, that is to be done by the medical board. These steps ensures that the directive of the wills are applicable, because board decide करेगा कि ये सिचुएशन आ गया है जो लिविंग विल में लिखा है, then it gives a green signal कि go ahead, and therefore the next step will be implementation. These steps ensure that directives of the living will are applicable and medically justified, preventing premature or inappropriate application of the will. लिविंग विल inappropriately implement नहीं होना चाहिए, premature भी नहीं होना, exact stage आना चाहिए. Then judicial verification. Judicial oversight to confirm the authenticity of the living will may be crucial for deciding the execution of the living will. Living will को execute करने के पहले judiciary has to confirm that yes, a genuine living will. This includes verifying that the will was created voluntarily and without coercion, thereby safeguarding the patient's true intentions and legal right. Patient's true intention and legal rights are very, very crucial, and therefore it has to be made sure by the judiciary that it was executed as specified under the Supreme Court judgment, and no step is left unattended. Multiple witnesses. Living will witnessed by at least two disinterested parties. Very, very clear. The witnesses have to be disinterested to add to the genuine execution of the will without any coercion. अगर इंटरेस्टेड पर्सन हो गए, वो जब ये लील पे सिग्नेचर होता है तब वो पेशेंट के फैमिली वाला कोई भी जो इंटरेस्टेड है ना, वो हाजिर ही नहीं होना चाहिए. दैट इज व्हाट आई बिलीव. इट हैज टू बी स्ट्रिक्टली हिज ओन डिसीजन. रात को प्रेशर किया था और सुबह में उन्होंने प्रेशर में सामने बैठे थे, आंख ये कर रहे थे. नथिंग ऑफ द सॉर्ट शुड हैपन. ही शुड बी लेफ्ट अलोन विथ डिसइंटरेस्टेड witnesses. This measure is intended to prevent any potential conflict of interest and ensure that the execution of the will is based on patient's genuine wishes. It should be genuine wish. Periodic re-evaluation. Yeah, please ask it. Periodic re-evaluation. As we know very well that conditions and preferences can change over time, regular reassessment of patient's condition and the living will ensure that the directives still align with their current health status and the desire. Current health status on the one hand and desire as per the living will on the other. Yes, they should totally match. और वो मैचिंग का काम बोर्ड करेगा. बोर्ड के बारे में भी बहुत ही डिटेल में सुप्रीम कोर्ट के जजमेंट में लिखा हुआ है, बट इतना टॉपिक डिटेल में जाने का दिस इज नॉट अ फोरम एज ऑफ. द नेक्स्ट इज राइट टू रिवोक. आपको मालूम है, शायद आपने यू मे कम अक्रॉस, जब कोई व्यक्ति ल्यूनेटिक होता है तो ल्यूनेटिक के अटैक आते हैं. इट इज नॉट कॉन्स्टेंट मैडनेस. So a person can be competent to contract when he doesn't have the attack of lunacy. अटैक नहीं होता है ल्यूनेटिक का, तब ही कैन एंटर इनटू कॉन्ट्रैक्ट. तो ऐसा सिचुएशन है कि राइट टू रिवोक जो है कि प्लीज नोट दैट पेशेंट्स हैव द अनकंडीशनल राइट टू रिवोक और अमेंड. एक पर्टिकुलर सिचुएशन में घबरा के पेनफुल था उसने डिसाइड किया भाई आई वांट टू राइट द विल सो दैट एक एंड हो जाए, लेकिन बाद में कंफर्ट लेवल बढ़ जाता है, he wants to change the decision, he can revoke at any time when he is competent. They remain mentally competent. लेकिन revocation has to be at the point of time when the person is mentally competent. The way he was writing the will when he was mentally competent, वैसे ही revocation के time भी he should be mentally competent. This flexibility respects the patient's evolving preference. Evolving means preferences may change from time. It's called evolving preferences and maintain their autonomy over their medical decision. कोई भी मेडिकल डिसीजन लेने के बाद भी उनकी ऑटोनॉमी को बरकरार रखना है. At any point of time, he is mentally competent. He should able to say, I want to change my preferences. Then transparency and documentation. Please note that transparency throughout the process and meticulous documentation of every decision and action taken is very much necessary in the entire process. This includes recording any changes to the living will, reason for any medical intervention, and outcome of judicial or medical review. ये जो चार फैक्टर है अपने अपनी जगह पे अपने अपने टाइम पे पूरे रिकॉर्डिंग डॉक्यूमेंटेशन के साथ होना चाहिए. इफेक्टिव डॉक्यूमेंटेशन नॉट ओनली प्रोवाइड अ क्लियर ट्रेल फॉर लीगल एंड मेडिकल रिव्यू but also ensure that all parties are accountable for adhering to the established legal and ethical standard. There is an accountability factor which normally is missing. Government offices में persons are not accountable for the decision. हमने देखा है, ऐसा सिचुएशन इधर नहीं आता है. नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. जुडिशियल रिव्यू एंड लिविंग विल जो है, जैसे कि ये सब जो स्लाइड बताए ना, वो जो पहली स्लाइड में लिखा है सब्सिक्वेंटली आल्सो सेम थिंग इज देयर. हाउएवर ये अलग स्लाइड है तो दिस इज स्पेशल फॉर दिस पर्टिकुलर टॉपिक. दिस स्लाइड एन एक्सप्लेनेशन एम्स टू प्रोवाइड us with a comprehensive understanding of critical role that judicial review play in context of living will, highlighting its importance in safeguarding the rights and intention of the individual who have made such preparation for their end of life. See, we have to respect the last wishes as noted down in the living will. So everything is moving around that particular aspect. To start with, role of the court. We know that judiciary has the fundamental right in overseeing the implementation of living will. The court acts as a critical safeguard, ensuring that all legal requirements are met and that the living will reflects the true intention of the patient. True intention of the patient as decided by the judiciary is a very crucial. आप, मैं, डॉक्टर, फैमिली, वो नहीं, द जुडिशरी हैज टू डिसाइड. और इसलिए जो हमने बोला डॉक्यूमेंटेशन में एम्बिग्विटी नहीं होनी चाहिए. राइटिंग में इंटरप्रिटेशन सेम आना चाहिए. दैट इंटरप्रिटेशन करने का हक हमारा नहीं है, जुडिशरी का है. फ्रेंड, ये सेमिनार जो हो रहा है वो नॉर्मली हाउसिंग सोसाइटीज़ के लिए है, इसलिए ये जो रोल के बारे में ये सब्जेक्ट को छोड़ के आई विल टेक 1 मिनट। आप में से काफ़ी लोग मैनेजिंग कमेटी में रहेंगे, या तो आपने अप्लाई किया होगा मेंबरशिप का और सोसाइटी ने ना बोला होगा। कौन से ग्राउंड पे? हमारा एनओसी नहीं लिया, आपने स्टैम्प ड्यूटी सही नहीं भरा, आपने डॉक्यूमेंट किया लेकिन आपका तो राइट नहीं है वो डॉक्यूमेंट करने का, आपके पास अथॉरिटी नहीं है, आपका फ्लैट का एरिया इतना है और आपने इतना लिखा। अनगिनत रीजन होते हैं रिफ्यूज करने के। लेट मी टेल इन वन सेंटेंस, देयर आर नंबर ऑफ जजमेंट्स वेयर कोर्ट्स हैव लेड डाउन दैट एक बार डॉक्यूमेंट ड्यूली स्टैम्प एंड रजिस्टर्ड दिया मीन्स उधर सोसाइटी की लक्ष्मण रेखा आ जाती है। यू कैन नॉट गो बिहाइंड दैट डॉक्यूमेंट। गलत है, बोगस है, करप्शन से हुआ है, नथिंग ऑफ द सॉर्ट। अगर प्रॉब्लम है तो गो टू जुडिशरी, यू कैन नॉट गो बिहाइंड द डॉक्यूमेंट। इसलिए इधर भी रोल ऑफ द कोर्ट का जो है ना, इन दैट कॉन्टेक्स्ट इट्स अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग। इट इज द कोर्ट दैट टेल्स। कोर्ट का डिसीजन आने के बाद everything settles down. So we know that judiciary has the fundamental in overseeing the implementation of living will. The court acts as a critical safeguard, ensuring that all legal requirements are met and that the living will reflects the true intention of the patient who has written the living will. This judicial oversight is crucial for maintaining public trust and legal integrity of the entire process. Next is dispute resolution. The role of judiciary in dispute resolution. We need to take into consideration the court's role in resolving disputes that may arise when there is a disagreement amongst family members, healthcare providers, or between any of these parties and patients directly. Patients का डायरेक्टिव जो लिखा है लीगल में वो और उसका इंटरप्रिटेशन है, जो भी कुछ है डिफरेंस फैमिली मेंबर के बीच में, मेडिकल पैटर्निटी के बीच में कुछ भी डिस्प्यूट है तो दीज आर डिस्प्यूट्स आर टेकन टू द कोर्ट। देन वेरिफिकेशन प्रोसेस। वी हैव सीन हाउ कोर्ट्स आर इन्वॉल्व इन वेरीफाइंग द ऑथेंटिसिटी ऑफ अ लिविंग विल। पहले मैंने देखा जुडिशियल मजिस्ट्रेट का एंडोर्समेंट चाहिए, इसके बाद भी डिफरेंस है तो कोर्ट विल डिसाइड कि ये बोगस है कि सही है। ऑल दिस इंक्लूड इंश्योरिंग दैट द विल वॉज मेड वॉलेंटरीली। द होल आइडिया इज विल वॉज मेड वॉलेंटरीली एंड विदाउट एनी कोर्सन when the person was competent to take the decision on his own. The verification process is crucial to prevent abuse of the process and ensure that the living will is true reflection of patient's autonomous decision. Autonomy of patient is very, very crucial. Then guardianship issue. Judiciary's role in cases where there may be conflict between appointed guardian's decision and directive stated in the living will is crucial. See, guardian जो अपॉइंट किए हैं उनका व्यू अलग है और लिविंग विल का वर्डिंग अलग है। ये सब डिसीजन जुडिशरी को ही करना है, कोई भी कॉन्फ्लिक्ट है तो। The courts have the power to resolve these conflicts to honor the patient's autonomy and provisions of the living will. Enforcement. Enforcement role of judiciary is necessary to ensure that the directives of the living will are carried out exactly as the patient intended. And this fine point, अगर dispute है तो fine point is arrived at adjudicated by the judiciary. जुडिशरी का फाइनल होने के बाद फिर भी डॉक्टर बोलता है नहीं करेगा, फिर भी एक्जिट बोलता है नहीं करेगा, then he will face the consequences of contempt of the court proceedings. Once the issue is settled in the court of law, nobody can get out of responsibilities, be it doctor or be it family member, because the wishes of the person making wills are to be respected and honored. and not the sentiments of the family or dispute among or differences among other authorities. In all this process, friends, lastly there is a provision for appeal. अभी अपील का स्पेशल प्रोविजन नहीं है, सिविल प्रोसीजर कोड के अंदर जो नॉर्मल अपील रिव्यू रिवीजन के प्रोसीजर है वही इसमें अप्लाई होते हैं. तो एट एनी स्टेज अगर कोई इश्यू आता है, समझो सुप्रीम कोर्ट में भी जाता है, तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट विल ऑल्सो हैव टू डिसाइड ऑन द स्पॉट. उसको लाइन में नहीं रखना है, इट शुड बी डिसाइड ऑन द स्पॉट. फ्रेंड, नेक्स्ट, and this is about organ donation. Friends, for information, हमारा क्लब जो organ donation में we are the leading Rotary club in Mumbai and we have a well established organ donation system. लास्ट ईयर में भी काफ़ी काम हुआ है. आइज का तो मैंने देखा था, काउंट किया था, अच्छा नंबर, एंड अदर ऑर्गन्स ऑल्सो. सो this slide explains aim to equip all of us with a true understanding of how organ donation can be integrated into living will. हमें अगर हमारी इच्छा है कि हमारे ऑर्गन एक पर्टिकुलर स्टेज पे डोनेट होना है, तो दैट इज ऑल्सो पार्ट ऑफ द लिविंग विल. And emphasize both the practical and ethical dimension of ensuring these directives are respected and implemented effectively. Inclusion in living will is the first topic. Please note that individuals can include specific directives about organ donation in their living wills. This ensures that their wishes regarding organ donations are clearly respected, and in the event that they are unable to communicate these preferences at the end of the life, because at that point of time they are in the vegetative state, they are not aware about their surroundings, they are not able to give their direction. Legal compliance has to be there. We must make sure to ensure that organ donation directives within the living will comply with ट्रांसप्लांटेशन ऑफ ह्यूमन ऑर्गन्स एक्ट, हमारा एक पार्लियामेंट का लॉ है, उसको भी अदर करना है. अदर रिलेवेंट नेशनल एंड स्टेट लॉज. दिस लीगल अलाइनमेंट इज क्रूशियल फॉर लॉफुल एंड इथिकल प्रोक्योरमेंट एंड यूज ऑफ द ऑर्गन. अंडर विच सर्कमस्टेंसेस कौन से ऑर्गन लेना है, कब लेना है, टाइम फ्रेम, उसके लिए सब लॉज है. वो लॉज को रिस्पेक्ट करके इट इज टू बी इम्प्लीमेंटेड इन टर्म्स ऑफ द लिविंग विल. इमीडिएट नोटिफिकेशन. जब ऐसा कोई सिचुएशन आता है तो इट इज ड्यूटी ऑफ रिस्पेक्टिव पर्सन इंक्लूडिंग द मेडिकल एंड पैरामेडिकल टू कम्युनिकेट टू द रिस्पेक्टिव एजेंसी ऑर्गन लेने के लिए, प्रिजर्व करने के लिए, ऑल दिस थिंग. सो इमीडिएट नोटिफिकेशन इज ऑल्सो पार्ट ऑफ द एंटायर प्रोसेस व्हेन देयर इज अ ऑर्गन डोनेशन इज अ पार्ट ऑफ द लिविंग विल. देन मेडिकल इवेल्युएशन. We know the role of medical evaluation in determining the suitability of organ for donation. This includes assessing the condition and functionality of organ to ensure they meet. अगर आँख अब पर्टिकुलर टाइम तक वैलिड है तो उसके बाद लेने का कोई मतलब नहीं है. हार्ट अब जो भी टाइम सेट है उसका मेडिकली, उसके अंदर नहीं लिया, उसको प्रॉपर कंडीशन में नहीं रखा, तो वो विशेष ऑफ द एग्जीक्यूटर आर नॉट एक्चुअली ऑनर्ड. उनकी इच्छा थी कि मेरा हार्ट किसी को दिया जाए, मेरी आँख किसी को दी जाए, और बिकॉज ऑफ द फेलियर ऑफ द सिस्टम अगर वो होता है तो दैट इज नॉट इन द रियल सेंस द ऑनरिंग ऑफ द विशेस ऑफ द लिविंग एग्जीक्यूटर ऑफ द लिविंग विल. देन फैमिली कम्युनिकेशन. इट इज ऑल्सो नेसेसरी टू एंगेज विद द पेशेंट फैमिलीज to ensure that they understand and support the patient's wishes regarding organ. जब आँख निकालने का बात आता है या तो फिर हार्ट की या तो लीवर कुछ निकालने की बात आती है, तो फैमिली मेंबर शुड नॉट कम इन द वे. नॉट ओनली दैट, अगर वो पार्ट ऑफ द लिविंग विल है तो देन इट बिकम्स अ ड्यूटी ऑफ द मेडिकल फ्रेटर्निटी ऑल्सो. अगर कोई फैमिली मेंबर बीच में आता है तो देयर हैज टू बी ए जुडिशियल रिव्यू and the court's decision is ultimately to be implemented. Then ethical considerations. There are factors of ethical consideration involving organ donation from a living will perspective. Address the need to balance respect for donor's autonomy with ethical issues surrounding consent, urgency of medical needs, and the potential emotional impact on the family. Next slide, please. That is the last slide of the topic. ये स्लाइड का काफ़ी चीज़ आई हैव ऑलरेडी डेल्ट विथ इन द प्रोसेस, बट फिर भी ये रश थ्रू करेंगे. पर्पस, मैंने पहले ही बोला था कि नॉर्मल विल इज अ टेस्टामेंटरी डॉक्यूमेंट एंड लिविंग विल इज अ लीगल डॉक्यूमेंट. द फर्स्ट डिफरेंस. पर्पस, a normal will is designed to handle legal matters relating to person's estate after his death, including distribution of assets and settlement of the debts. In contrast, a living will serves to express individuals' preferences regarding medical treatment in cases where they cannot make decision due to incapacity. This is a basic difference between the two. Activation. A normal will has no legal effect until the individual passes away. On the other hand, a living will becomes relevant under specific circumstances defined by the patient's health condition, terminal illness, or severe incapacities, where they can no longer express informed consent. So there is a difference between the two. Then legal focus. A normal will deals with property and legal estate governed by the estate law. A living will, however, deals with medical directives and is influenced by healthcare regulations and bioethics. Witness requirement. Both types of wills require witnesses to ensure authenticity, but a living will may also require notarization and confirmation by the medical personnel and endorsement by the judicial magistrate. There is a difference, which is not required in the normal will. Revocation. Note that both the documents can be revoked and amended as long as the individual is mentally competent. Normal will also mental competency है तभी change होता है, और living will also like that. Execution. A normal will is executed by executor or administrator who are appointed to manage the estate posthumously. व्यक्ति एक्सपायर होने के बाद ही जो एग्जीक्यूटर अपॉइंट किया है, अगर विल में एग्जीक्यूटर का नाम नहीं लिखा है तो कोर्ट विल फिक्स द एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर आउट ऑफ द रिलेटिव, और इफ देयर आर नो रिलेटिव कमिंग फॉरवर्ड फ्रॉम कोर्ट्स ओन रिसोर्सेज. बट in case of a living will is executed by healthcare proxies or agent who has designated to ensure that the medical preferences of the incapacitated individuals are followed. Last slide, friends, and that is slide to express my thanks. Friends, I appreciate, very much thankful. It's a new subject. मुझे भी मौका मिला ये टॉपिक को डील करने का, स्टडी करने का मौका मिला. टू शेयर विथ यू, रात को 8 बजे तक ऑफिस में सब रेडी करके प्रिंटिंग करके लेके गया था घर पे. घर पे जाके देखा तो पावर पॉइंट प्रेजेंटेशन का नहीं लाया था, और मैंने सेव भी नहीं किया था वन ड्राइव में, या तो नोट में भी सेव नहीं किया था. एट 7 o'clock आई हैड टू गो टू ऑफिस. ऑफिस गया, जो मैंने रात को थोड़े प्लस माइनस फाइन ट्यूनिंग किया था वो सब चेंज किया, पावर पॉइंट लिया. सो दिस काइंड ऑफ थिंग, जो ये मौका जब मिलता है जब हम रिस्पॉन्सिबली हमारा शेयर करते हैं, यू नो, दिस इनकरेजेस मी. You must reflect. I mean, you know, to cut short, I am extremely happy कि आपने मुझे सुना. There may be some loopholes तो नहीं, लेकिन shortcomings भी कौन से कुछ रह गया है, और रह जाने का चांस बहुत है. जैसे कि while I was studying, I came across, जैसे कि बहुत इश्यूज है जो कोर्ट में हम लोग रिफर करते हैं, काफ़ी चीज़ इसमें नहीं है और ये फर्स्ट टाइम प्रेजेंटेशन था. हो सकता है कि नेक्स्ट टाइम इफ आई हैव एन ओकेजन टू प्रेजेंट आई मे बी मच बेटर देन दिस. थैंक यू फ्रेंड्स.